Most entrepreneurs are unknowingly sabotaging their success by ignoring these success laws. In this video, I'll reveal 7 success rules that produce lasting influence, financial growth, and legacy-driven leadership if you're bold enough to apply them. These 7 life rules have built empires, and they still work better than 90% of the business advice today. Welcome to the channel. I'm Larry A. Davis, and I know how so many business owners struggle with inconsistent growth and wasting time chasing the wrong strategies. Well, what I do is I teach a proven framework that prioritizes the right strategies in the right order so that they can grow faster, more profitably, and with less stress. In fact, I've recently helped a client double their revenue in under 90 days, re-engineering their offer and aligning their marketing. And so in this video, I'm going to give you the 7 life rules for success, specifically for entrepreneurs. Rule number 1, work diligently and pursue excellence. This is about having a strong work ethic and excellence in all we do. Because lazy people are soon poor, but hard workers get rich. That means that hard work leads to gain. In the same way, when you do work, you have to work faithfully. This principle shows us that consistently doing your best cultivates success. The diligent person that is skilled and persistent in their work will soon stand before kings. What does that mean? That means that you will not remain obscure because excellence earns recognition. And so for entrepreneurs, this rule means committing to high standards and persistence in business ventures. In practice, it's about going the extra mile in service and not cutting corners. A startup founder might put the necessary hours in to refine a product, or a leader might encourage a culture of excellence among employees. Hard work, discipline, and a spirit of excellence done with an attitude of serving a higher purpose builds a reputation for quality that attracts opportunities. Over time, diligent and excellent work produces tangible results like profits and growth and influence. All right, rule number 2, maintain integrity and honesty. Success that lasts must be built on integrity, because a false balance is a disgrace, but a fair weight is delightful. This means that people should not cheat in business measures. It means to be fair and truthful in all transactions. Likewise, just say a simple yes, I will, or a simple no, I won't. Anything beyond this is not good. This simply means that we should keep our word and speak truthfully without deception, because upholding honesty, even when it's hard, brings favor and it builds trust with others. This also links integrity with security. Well, how does it link integrity with security? Whoever walks in integrity walks securely, meaning those who do right, they have a firm foundation. They don't have to worry about anything because they're secure in themselves and who they are, and they're secure in the things that they have done. And they don't have to worry about looking over their shoulder. People that do people wrong or scam people, or they live a life that they're constantly looking over their shoulder because they know that they've done people wrong. And see, when you have integrity, you can walk securely. In entrepreneurship, integrity is currency. Business leaders who are truthful with their customers, they're transparent with their investors, and fair with employees, they foster trust. And trust is a valuable asset for success. This rule translates into practices like honest marketing, meaning don't make false claims. It means fair pricing. And what I mean by fair pricing is pricing your offers or your products fairly in regards to the amount of value that you give. I'm not saying that you should lower your prices. What I'm saying is your prices should be in proportion to the value that you give. And so if you give a lot of value, if you give premium value, then you can charge premium prices. But if you can't charge premium prices if you're giving low value, that's what I mean by fair pricing. Also, paying your employees and paying your partners on time. Basically honoring your contracts. That's what that means. For example, A business owner might refuse to bribe officials or to falsify reports, choosing long-term integrity over short-term gain. Because by doing so, they establish a reputation that attracts loyal customers and partners. In the long run, honest businesses earn more trust and suffer fewer setbacks, aligning with the proverb that says, whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Because I believe that acting honorably towards others brings blessings back to your enterprise. Rule number 3, seek wisdom and plan wisely. Wisdom is the key to success. Happy is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding, because wisdom guides good decisions. One practical aspect of wisdom is strategic planning and seeking good advice. But here's the warning. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. In other words, wise planning that is often done by gathering insight from others leads to successful outcomes. And so I'm inviting you to seek wisdom in all you do. If any of you lack wisdom, you should seek wisdom, because wisdom generously provides insight to those who humbly seek it, which can illuminate the path forward. And so for entrepreneurs, this rule means never stop learning and strategizing. Before launching a product or making a big decision, a wise leader does the research, consults mentors or experts, and even prays for guidance. Practically, this could look like writing a business plan, analyzing market data, and inviting experienced advisors or board members to provide feedback. Rather than impulsively rushing into schemes, successful business leaders make plans diligently and consider counsel, knowing that thoughtful strategy prevents costly mistakes. At the same time, they remain teachable and adaptable by continuously acquiring knowledge in their industry and seeking guidance. By valuing wisdom over rashness, entrepreneurs align with the principle that diligent planning leads to abundance and positions their ventures for long-term prosperity. Rule number 4, trust in God and put Him first. See, the Bible teaches that true success comes from aligning with God's will and priorities. Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established. This is a promise that when we involve God in our endeavors, He will guide us and He will firm up our plans. Jesus emphasized priorities with a clear command, but seek His kingdom first and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you as well. Rather than chasing success for its own sake, we are to pursue God's ways and values first, trusting that material gain, material needs, and success will follow in His timing. The Bible also cautions against a purely profit-driven mindset. It says, "For what will it profit a man who gains the whole world and forfeits his soul?" And so gaining worldly success means nothing if your spiritual life is bankrupt. Now, in practical terms, this rule means keeping faith and ethics at the core of your business. An entrepreneur living by this principle will prioritize things like integrity, generosity, and purpose over raw profit. For example, they might start meetings with prayer for guidance. They might remain calm during setbacks by trusting God's plan, or turn down lucrative deals that conflict with their values. Putting God first could involve observing honest practices even when your competitors are not, or ensuring that the business's mission aligns with serving a real need rather than just making money. This mindset guards leaders from greed and burnout, because their definition of success includes spiritual well-being and contribution, not just financial gain. By seeking God's direction through prayer and scripture for major business decisions, they often find clarity and peace that lead to better outcomes. In essence, a God-centered entrepreneur is building on a rock-solid foundation when the storms come. And when the storms come, the business stands firm. And in the end, all of these things that are needed, you can find those things as well. In the end, you will get the success that you were looking for, but you get it the right way. Rule number 5, lead with humility and serve others. Humility and service are pathways to honor and success. True humility leads to riches, honor, and long life. This is a clear indication that those who are humble get rewarded in tangible ways. Rather than pridefully seeking status, great leaders lower themselves to lift others up. I know this is different from what the world teaches, but whoever wants to be a leader must be a servant. True greatness is achieved through serving others. This servant leader principle means listening, empathizing, and sacrificing for the good of those you lead. For those who are full of pride, you may grab short-term glory, but eventually you will face opposition. But those who remain humble will experience grace, and the grace is what will lift you up to where you ultimately want to be. In entrepreneurship, leading with humility and service creates a strong, loyal team and a positive reputation. Practically, this could mean that a CEO is willing to do frontline work when needed, or a manager who actively seeks employees' input and gives them credit for successes. A humble leader admits mistakes and remains teachable, which fosters innovation and trust. Serving others in business includes treating employees and customers with respect and compassion. For example, mentoring junior staff, providing fair wages and benefits, or just going above and beyond to solve a customer's problem. This approach reflects the golden rule. And everybody knows the golden rule of doing for others what you want done for you. And the result is often more motivated workforce or a more loyal clientele. In the long run, a company known for humility and service will attract partners and customers. As people want to work, they prefer to work for those who value them. Because humility leads to honor and blessing, and a servant-hearted business will find success through the goodwill and the collaboration that it generates. All right, rule number 6, persevere through challenges. The road to success is seldom easy, and that's why you need endurance. So let's not get tired of doing what's good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. This links perseverance to eventual reward, because success often requires not quitting when things get tough. And if you live any amount of time, you know that tough times will come. But when you change your perspective, you start to look at the tough times as growth opportunities, because suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. In other words, pushing through difficulties builds the strength and character needed for long-term success. Everybody stumbles. Even your heroes stumble. But the problem is not in the stumble. The problem is not in the fall. It doesn't matter how many times you stumble and fall, as long as you get back up. Because victory is promised to those who endure. Blessed is the one who endures tough times, because they will eventually win the crown of life. Entrepreneurship requires grit, the ability to keep going despite setbacks. In applying this rule, business leaders should view challenges and failures as stepping stones rather than stop signs. For example, a failed product launch or a lost client can be taken as a lesson, prompting improvements and innovative pivots instead of causing the founder to give up. Successful entrepreneurs often share stories of perseverance and working through hard things, working through months of low sales and overcoming financial hurdles, or staying committed to their vision even when doubters surrounded them. But by not growing weary in doing good, a business owner might continue treating people the right way and refining their service even when the immediate results are sparse, because they are trusting that a harvest will come in due time. This persistent faith and effort often sets the stage for a breakthrough. The contract finally comes through. The investors appear. The product starts gaining traction. Perseverance, coupled with faith that everything is working through the process, gives entrepreneurs resilience. It keeps hope alive during those tough seasons, and it builds a company culture that does not quit, which is ultimately a key ingredient in meaningful success. Rule number 7, Be generous and steward resources wisely. Generosity is connected with blessing, and it teaches us to view ourselves as stewards or managers of God-given resources. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. You see, giving to others does not lead to loss, but it leads to gain, whether it's material gain or the gain of goodwill and favor, because it is better to give than to receive. There is a real reward in being generous. This applies to money, time, talents, and additionally, this principle of stewardship is a principle that will eventually reward you. If you are faithful with little things, that shows that you can be faithful with large things. Basically, we ultimately are caretakers of what God gives us. We're called to manage it wisely and unselfishly. For business leaders, this rule encourages generosity in various forms and careful management of company resources. Generosity in business could mean sharing profits by donating to community causes, or offering excellent benefits to employees, or mentoring other entrepreneurs. For instance, a company might set up a charitable foundation, or simply foster a culture of helping employees in need. Such open-handedness often boosts morale, brand loyalty, and networking opportunities because you are refreshing others, which tends to refresh the business itself through goodwill and reputation. See, wise stewardship in entrepreneurship means budgeting wisely, investing profits smartly, and not squandering resources on ego-driven projects. See, a leader who sees money as a tool to do good rather than it being an end in itself will make good decisions, will make decisions that are sustainable and ethical. They might, for example, reinvest in employee development or customer experience rather than just maximizing short-term owner payout. But by being both generous and responsible, entrepreneurs align with God's principles. They invite blessings by their giving. They ensure long-term success by managing their assets with care. And this combination between open-handedness and generosity is wise stewardship, and it creates a business that is profitable, respected, and positioned for lasting impact. And so those are the 7 life rules for success in life and in business, because life is business. And so those are the 7 life rules for success that you can use in your business, or you can use these for anything. These are basically principles that you can use. And so these are principles, these are laws. And so I hope this was helpful for you. Drop a comment, let me know what you thought about it. And that's all I got for you in this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.